Hey, howdy, and hello, everyone. A pillow here coming at you during one of the most interesting times in American history. We are looking at the arrest and the arraignment of a former president of the United States for some spicy campaign finance violations. And I'm saying spicy because we just passed the 30-second mark. This man, Donald Trump, best boy, like an idiot, paid off a porn star, allegedly. And he is currently being charged under campaign finance, illegalities, campaign finance law, because this paying off and then paying the lawyer who had paid her off was basically used as a way to help his campaign, because she was basically Stormy Daniels, the porn star he paid off. We'll get to the video. But the porn star he paid off was going to come out with a story that could have ruined his chances in 2016. I doubt it would have, but it could have. And so his lawyer paid her off, and then he paid the lawyer for paying her off. And he's now being charged in New York under campaign finance violations. And here we have... Actually, I'm not going to do CNN. Because CNN might copyright the shit. I will be doing the AP. Oh my god! Ladies and gentlemen, look at this shit! Happening now. Former President Donald Trump is in Manhattan courtroom for his arraignment on criminal charges. Whoa! Look, I'm gonna get into what this says about the United States and what this means for us as a country. But let me tell you, I have never been more satisfied looking at a picture. This is a former president of the United States sitting in a courtroom being arraigned on criminal charges. That is great. That is phenomenal. And I am shocked that it took this long for it to happen. Oh shit, we have a video! We have a video! Wait, dude. Ah! Bozo! L, look at him! Wow. Do we have audio?
President Trump, will you come speak to us? President Trump? Will you come?
The face! Look at him! Ooh! I'm sorry for blowing out the mic, but look. Words cannot describe the amount of joy that seeing this image puts in me. Okay? So, we've laughed at him. We've talked about this event happening. Let's talk about what this means. I'm going to be using the term allegedly this entire time, because I'm not trying to get sued. I doubt I would get sued, but I'm not trying to get sued. So let's talk about this flat. One of the things that a lot of authoritarians rely on, and do not get me wrong, Trump, in my opinion, is an authoritarian. He is an authoritarian, in my opinion. And one of the things that authoritarians rely on is the idea that they are above the law, that they are untouchable. And this generally goes with fascism too. I believe I made a video a couple of weeks ago where I talked openly about, hey, punching fascists, punching Nazis is something that you can use to demystify them, to disempower them, because fascists rely on looking strong and powerful in order to gain a base. They rely on this kind of imagery to make themselves seem better than they actually are. And, like, the all-powerful deserve to rule people. And let me tell you, I don't think anything is more demystifying than someone who was formerly the most powerful man on the planet. The most powerful man on the planet sitting in a district court on charges relating to him allegedly paying off his lawyer who paid off a porn star who he had an extramarital affair with. Nothing is more powerful than that. This is showing that powerful people can be held accountable for the things that they do. And is he getting special treatment? Yes, he's getting special treatment. You know where he went, or at least where he's planning on going after this arraignment? He's planning on going back to his golf resort in Florida. He is getting special treatment, undoubtedly. But you know what else is happening? You know what else is happening? He is also being held accountable for the crimes that he allegedly committed. He has sat in a courtroom, had criminal charges brought up against him. I don't know if they took a mugshot of him. I think there are talks that they weren't going to take a mugshot of him because, of course, the purpose of a mugshot is to make it easy to identify a criminal, say if, like, they escape or something like that. Or just, like, to have them on the books. And, like, I don't think anyone is more identifiable than, like, a former or current president. Like, I would argue that Trump is, out of, like, the most identifiable people in the world, he is definitely in, like, top 3. I think the only person alive who's probably more recognizable than Trump is, like, Obama. I don't even think Biden is more recognizable than Trump because he just kind of sits back and does his presidential thing silently, whereas Trump didn't. But what this means for America. What this means for America is that our leaders are not above the law. Flat out. And making it clear that people can be held accountable for the things that they do, especially people in these positions of power, make it a lot scarier for people trying to exploit our political systems, as many Republican politicians currently are. It's going to make a lot of these people potentially get cold feet. Because getting hit on charges like this, yeah. A lot of right-wingers are pointing to this as like a political act, like a political game and indictment. And like, everything you do is political. But the thing is, if he committed this crime, he's getting charged on what he did. He's not above the law. And that scares people like Tucker Carlson. That scares people like Ron DeSantis. That scares big Republican conservative talking heads and lawmakers and politicians and figures and propagandists. That scares them because it shows them what might happen to them if their little ploy to subvert American democracy does not work. That if they do get caught committing a crime, and if they somehow do come to power and they do whatever they want, all the horrific shit that they want to do, and their regime collapses, which it most certainly will, because fascism never lasts. Fascism never lasts. It will always eventually fall apart. Even the longest running fascistic regimes eventually fell apart. Even if they were to take control of the country and subvert our democracy, once their regime falls apart, this is going to be them. This is going to be them sitting in a courtroom, being charged for crimes that they have committed. Whether it be paying off a porn star, which if, in the grand scheme of things, I don't care. He diddled a porn star and like paid her off to stay silent, I don't care. You know what he does with his dick, I don't give a fuck. Yeah? And this is funny to me because I hate this guy. Like, this is an ontologically evil kind of thing, unironically. Anything that happens to this man, I don't care, as long as it isn't something like especially heinous. But yeah, this scares these people. Because anything that they do, they could very easily end up in a courtroom like this man who was once the most powerful man on the planet. The most powerful man on the planet. And while I do personally doubt that anything is going to be made of this, or that this is going to potentially hurt his electoral chances, because at this point, if Trump runs in 2024 and he wins the Republican nomination, I am 100% certain he's not winning the general election. He lost in 2020, and that was before he did the thing that a lot of people consider to be the worst thing that he did, which was January 6th. A lot of people consider January 6th to be the worst thing that he did, and that was after he lost an election. Trump is unelectable when it comes to the general American public. Regular people are not going to go out and vote for him. And I do not think that this is going to hurt his electoral chances any more than they would. Especially since a lot of the Republican base are now throwing themselves behind him. Because of this conviction. What happens moving forward is entirely up to us. And whatever you say, this is the sign of a functioning and healthy democracy. Sometimes I look at other countries, like South Korea, for example. South Korea is a country that had a very, very, very long share of horrible, horrible military dictators propagated by the United States. But in recent years, South Korea has become a very democratic country. And I think part of the thing that helps with that is that they are not afraid to prosecute their former presidents. Let me pull her up. Of course, in recent memory, we have former president of South Korea, Ms. Park. As you can see here, her being arrested. She was arrested on corruption charges. And before her, there was another president whose name I'm forgetting, who was also arrested, I believe, also on corruption charges. That's a good thing. It is a sign of a functioning and a healthy democracy that a former leader, when they commit a crime, can be arrested for that crime, be charged for that crime. That is a good thing. And this makes me optimistic for what may be going forward in America. Because it has been extremely scary to be an American recently. Especially one in minority groups, such as myself, obviously. But knowing that our democracy, even when fragile, can still endure to the point where people are not above the law, or at least will still be prosecuted even if they are given special treatment due to the specialty of who they were. The fact that these people can still be prosecuted, the fact that these people can still be arraigned, the fact that pictures like this can come out of America is a good thing. This sounds really hopeful, and that's because it is. Be hopeful. Be hope-pilled. This is a good thing that this is happening. Even if you aren't like some hardcore leftists going like, ah, yeah, screw Trump, haha, yeah, like I am. This is good. I think one of the worst things to ever happen in American history was the fact that Nixon was not prosecuted after Watergate. He should have been prosecuted after Watergate, flat out. Flat out. He should have went to jail. But he didn't go. He didn't go. He was never arrested. He was never prosecuted because he got pardoned by Gerald Ford. That isn't good. But this is good. This is a move in the right direction for our country and for democracy in this country if we want to keep propagating it. Because for a democracy to function properly, no one can be above the law, and everyone must be equal. Flat out. With that being said, if you liked this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. I tend to stream whenever, but I try to keep it relegated to Fridays and Saturdays. I may be testing some uploading everyday thing, but if not, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And make sure to join the Discord, links in the description. Also follow me on Twitter, links in the description. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.